welcome Solex Nation. You know, we have given away a lot of free Dave Discovery passes this month already.
Yes, to QLAs and PCs.
We have.
Because that's the promotion, that's the incentive this month.
It is.
Any new QLA or PC that comes to Solex during the month of February gets access to some immediate training in March.
That's right.
Not only do we have these calls to educate and to give information on them, we have a whole repository on YouTube. If you're brand new, there's tons on YouTube. It's where you probably are viewing this right now. There's playlists, there's all kinds of things. But we have a special event in March. If you weren't aware that you already are getting this, you're getting it. Let me tell you what it includes. It includes access to hours of training about the scanner, about products, about your well-being, new updates to the scanner, things like that.
Your
and even business. Yeah,
Yep.
business is included in there. But you also get last year's Day of Discovery, and so we send that out to you, and you can watch. That's like over 11 hours of material.
Yes, and you're getting access to the last year's Day of Discovery right away.
Yep.
You will get access to the March 9th Day of Discovery. In the early morning hours of March 9th, you'll get an email with that access code. Now, if you have signed someone on this month, please make them aware of the importance of Day of Discovery and of this training, and let them know that they will be getting access to these two events. And they will also be getting a 20% off coupon to use the week of March 9th
as many
to the
times
15th.
as they like.
That's
they
right.
can use it as many times as they like during that week. Now, regarding access, one of the things to make note is if you don't have the checkbox to receive communication from Solex, please go into your account and check the box, say you want it, because that's how we get the information out to you. Now, we'll also post a banner in your back office where you can click from that banner and go get your access as well. But to make it easiest, it's going to be emailed out to you as soon as the event is open, and there you go. You have hours of time to spend during that week.
Well, and just to go back to what you just said, if you don't allow for communications from the company, then you will not be receiving emails and text messages. So make sure you go in, and if you don't know how to do that, ask your upline, give us a call, or even look on our YouTube channel where one of our QLAs, Rebecca McQuilty, made a video on how to update your communications from the company.
Now, with that, speaking of Dave Discovery, a lot of you have been obviously bringing these wonderful people to Solex. And part of the incentive isn't a ticket for you, but we want to make sure that if you don't have a ticket, those tickets go up in price on March 1st.
Yes.
And so we want to make sure that you're aware of that. Please join with your new recruit, your new person here at Solex, and get with them. In fact, we have a contest, this kind of subtle contest of who's going to have the most people in a gathering. Get together. Even if it's 3 or 4, you never know. You never know how many people are going to get together. And you know what? Even if you don't win the biggest group contest where everybody in that group wins a prize based on the picture submission, right? Because we're counting heads in that submission. It is always good just to get with other people at these sort of events. You connect, you get ideas. In fact, I think there's some information in the event about getting together and networking and stuff like that. So
it's going to be a great event. So we're looking forward to it. It's just in a few weeks, and we can't wait for that to start. You know, we are at that point in the month where we have had new ranks break.
Yes. Oh, we just ran commission run.
Yep.
And so let's show them the new ranks.
All right, let's take a look. I love to see ranks break. We say that every month, but really it is so fun. It's like a game for us. We love to see how many people.
Congratulations to everybody on that list. That represents so much hard work and focus and sharing and scanning and doing all kinds of things. And so we're just so happy for you and your businesses and everybody else who's working towards that. We know that next month we're going to have more ranks break, and it's just an exciting process.
It really is.
We love being associated with you in this.
Well, we'd love to announce the top enrollers and actually the contest drawing too. But you know, the last couple of weeks we've had Jake and Deb do it, and we love actually bringing on new faces or different faces than just ours. So let's have them come on again.
Okay.
All right.
Hey everybody, Jake and Deb back once more to do the top enrollers in the contest. And let's just dive right in. So this is the February 6th through the 12th.
Yep.
And we only have 2 people, one first place and one second place.
No ties this week.
Yeah, no ties.
It's like a miracle.
Wow, yeah, that's great. So
I don't know how that happened.
Who was second place, Deb?
So our second place top enroller for this week is Julie Malili.
Good job,
Congratulations, Julie.
That's awesome.
Keep up the great work.
Job.
You guys are killing it on
Yes.
enrollees this month.
And first place, Rita Dickinson. Great job.
Yay, Rita.
Another coin coming your way.
Yes.
They're doing great
Yes.
with. I love how Solix has started doing these incentives, these 90-day
Yes,
runs. It
yes.
just seems to have just sparked such a determination.
Our enrollments
and
are
hard
through
work.
the
Yeah,
roof.
it's so awesome. Oh,
It
it's
is
so
awesome.
great.
It's fun to watch all the new people coming in and to talk to them and feel their excitement. It's awesome.
Yeah.
We love it.
Good time
We
here
love
at
it.
Solix right
Yeah,
now.
it's so awesome.
We also had a contest.
Yep.
And what was the question? What were they supposed to respond to in the comments?
So they needed to tell us what was the golden part of the I guess the scanner.
Yeah.
What
kind of
is
the full
golden
AO
to
scan
them? Yeah.
Technology. Yeah.
And because they use the word golden, we're giving away
Yep.
a bottle of gold. One of our great fulvic acid and ionic trace minerals. This is a great
Yeah,
product.
that's awesome.
So we're going to pick 3 winners for the Ionics Gold.
Oh, I almost dropped some again. Man, I don't know
Just
what
pull
my
one
problem
out.
is. Okay.
You got this.
Let's see. Okay. I got one.
Okay.
All right. So this is John Donnell. I think it's John Donnell.
John Donnell.
Hola, Solix staff. You are all gold for having created and supporting the AO scan technology, which will help move healthcare into the golden age of medicine.
I love that. Lots of gold.
Yeah. Choosing just one feature is very difficult, but based on what I've used the most, I would say the Vitals report. Love Vitals.
Yes.
It provides a golden stream of valuable data and has saved me hundreds, if not thousands, of gold coins not spent on traditional chemical lab tests. For instance, the heavy metals report, which even reports the gold in some of my teeth, would have cost over $300 at a traditional lab. Yes, indeed, the gold nuggets of information provided by the Vitals report is the Fort Knox of health data. Thanks again for the wealth of info the AO scan provides. Wow, this guy really
love that.
used the word gold
Yes.
to its maximum potential. That was awesome.
You definitely deserve a bottle of gold.
Coming your way. Hey,
That's
Deb.
awesome. All right. Here comes another one. All right. This one is Rayanne Lewis. Sorry, these words there's no space in between, so I get a little confused. Gold for balancing my golden, as in retrievers. That kind of stumped me a little.
yes.
I
Oh.
know. I can sense when they get out of balance. They can't tell me what is going on, just can scan them and imprint their collars. Every week, I put the collars out in the sun to recharge, which recharges the goldens too. Everything in my life works better with my AO scan.
Oh,
That's golden.
that's
Golden for the
so
golden.
cool.
I
I
love
love
that.
that.
All right, bottle of gold coming to you. Rayanne Lewis. All right.
Really mixing them up.
One more lucky winner for gold.
Okay.
If you haven't tried this is a great
I think
product.
I got one.
Yep, I've heard lots of testimonials about this.
Okay.
And if you have time, go read the comments on these because these are
Yeah, maybe give them some good ideas.
Yes,
Something maybe that you
yes,
haven't tried before.
yes, especially if you're new. Man, the testimonials are powerful. All right, let's hear this one.
Okay, this is the Great Awakening. What's gold for me is the customized frequency playlist that I send to the hospital I work at. Mother Earth, pets, and family and friends. I have a brain booster playlist, an aura building playlist, and a chakra playlist, just to name a few. I love your awesome company and the good vibrations that you are sending to our beautiful planet. Thank you. Frequency Freedom US, Tanya McGowan. So I guess we know who that is.
I love
Great
that.
comment, Tanya. That was
Yes,
awesome.
that is golden.
That is so cool.
I know. Jake, this is so much fun. Should we give 4 bottles away?
I don't know.
I know
Are
they
we
said
allowed to
3.
do that?
I'm going to say yes.
Oh, goodness.
All right.
Yes, this is so
All right.
fun.
All right, let's give one more away. This is the bonus giveaway. This is the bonus one. All right. Lucy Chapin.
All right, Lucy.
It's hard to only choose one golden feature. This is what we're hearing. It's so great. I use my device daily with morning and evening scanning, inner voice, and filling the day with Cephi. I am a Cephi lover, and inner voice. Those are, yes. The device in itself is the golden feature. Agreed. I love that it is constantly growing as technology grows. Excited for a day of discovery and upgrades on inner voice.
Ooh,
we are all excited about that.
That's going to be a good time.
All right, well, 4 of you. Congratulations.
Yes. Great comments and great comments, everybody.
Yes, they were so great.
fun.
If you guys want to hear some awesome testimonials of what people love about our AO scan, go ahead and read those comments. There were a lot of amazing ones. So, gold coming to you.
Yes.
Till next time.
Yeah, till next time. See you later.
Good evening. We had a really interesting question come in, and we're going to kind of dive into it this evening. And it was somebody who was asking, when we use virus DT or bacteria DT from the homeoenergetics, are we killing off all the bacteria, all the viruses? It's a valid question, because if you think about it, in the world of medicine these days, there's concern because of the fact that there are bacteria that are becoming resistant to antibiotics. And there's even science that's going forward that is considering using viruses to destroy some bacteria with the absence of ability for antibiotics to work. So it was a very good question. So let's just dive into some of the aspects of the mobile scanner, how it works, how the homeoenergetics works for virus DT, bacteria DT. In fact, for any of the ones that say that they are DT, so that there's a better understanding of how it works and what it does. So one of the basics that we always talk about, which is a firm foundational aspect, is the fact that your mobile scanner is all about frequencies. Everything that is in it has to do with frequencies. And so what we are going to talk about is the fact that in your mobile scanner, there's a healthy blueprint for frequencies to establish how the program ends up rating things with the 1s and the 9s that have been talked about before. So there's a gold standard that is the blueprint for frequencies for healthy tissue. And so when your scanner works, it brings over the 1s, 2s, 3s, 4s, 5s, 6s, 7s, 8s, and 9s in response to what the frequencies are like in the body compared with that gold standard of healthy frequencies. At the same time, then the mobile scanner has running in the background a database of frequency fingerprints. So when it comes to viruses and bacteria, molds, funguses, heavy metals, food sensitivities, all of the different categories that run in the background are the frequency fingerprints that identify those different categories and the different specific ones that are in those categories. So let's reestablish what has been talked about before in phase 1, phase 2, phase 3, but also in some of the trainings that have been Wednesday night calls. And that is that the frequencies that are in the databases can be a number of different things. They can be cellular memory, they can be residual toxins in the body, they can be residual damage from prior exposure, there can be residual inflammation from an event in the past that the body had with a bacteria or a virus or a mold or a fungus, whatever the category is. It can be an actual occurrence in the body at the time of being scanned. And then it also has been explained before that it can be the closest fingerprint in the database to what the brain is actually seeing in the body from the past, from the present, developing actually there, whatever the situation actually is. So it's really important for us to think about the frequencies that way in order to have the correct view of what shows up in the scanner. So another aspect of it is that when you're scanning somebody, it is a pinpoint in time. You'll see here the illustration of a clock and the fact that when you scan someone, at that moment, it is showing what the comparison is to the gold standard for healthy tissue with the 1s and 9s, and also showing what the frequency fingerprints are that the brain is identifying with. It's also trying to show you the relationship between the organs, the glands, and the systems, which is why you have the body systems in your mobile scanner. It also helps you to identify lifestyle changes that can be done. There often are suggestions on what is needed, and that is not a static list. That is something where the brain is picking out the different frequencies that it sees will help balance out the frequencies from the different categories, and also the remedies. The remedies that come up from the homeoenergetics, the scanning that shows up for supplements, anything that is something that can be taken by the body is very valuable in that the brain sees that it can help elevate the frequencies in the body. So the next thing that we would want to talk about is, you see here a list of bacteria. Okay, this is one of the lists that was released after phase 2. There's a lot more bacteria that runs in the background as far as a frequency fingerprint, but these are the ones that were released in order to start educating people on how to connect the dots and how to view the different things that showed up in the reports. So when you consider the information that we just talked about, you can see that these bacteria right here are some of the main ones, but when you think of how many millions of bacteria there could be, what actually is in the body could be quite different than this list, but the brain could be picking out the fingerprint of these bacteria in order to give an idea of what's going on in the body. This is why it's always been emphasized that it's really, really important to look for patterns and to test every few days or once a week, or if there's a problem going on, to just look for patterns, because of the fact that it's not diagnostic, and we're looking for patterns and looking for the frequencies that the brain picks out. The same thing goes for viruses. Here you'll see a list that shows the list of viruses that were released once somebody took phase 2. A lot more would run in the background of the database when it was running, but in order to start training people on the ability to connect the dots again and look for patterns, here are some of the viruses that the brain would be able to show up in a report so that they could get an idea of what the fingerprint was of what was showing up in the body. Now, the next illustration that you're going to be seeing is coming from actually from a test that was done on somebody, and it helps to emphasize this point. Here somebody had a scan run, and you can see highlighted that for the heart, they showed up for bacteroides intermedius, some salmonella for the mitochondria, some E. coli associated with blood cells, and also some strep associated with the heart. But you also see that it's low cause and high cause, which is the brain showing that either a past occurrence, a current exposure, a developing frequency has been causing a lowered function or possible inflammation in the body, and that there were different years that these things possibly occurred, which could be the brain trying to show a pattern of that the heart needs some support, the mitochondria needs some help in order to regain energy from a past occurrence with salmonella, and that the blood cells possibly are just needing to see if there's some pattern somewhere elsewhere in the body that would help with this presence in the past of possibly some E. coli. We know that E. coli can often be associated with kidney infections. And so if there's been kidney infections in the past, it could be that the brain is alerting here that the kidneys have had to filter the blood a lot in order to cope with some past occurrence of E. coli, or it could be developing, or it could be present. Here again, it goes back to that the scanner is showing you patterns and fingerprints, not diagnosing. So let's look into some more properties with the homeoenergetics. Homeoenergetics are a very, very valuable tool that you have in your scanner. And the question was on the virus DT and the bacteria DT, what was happening when somebody was taking those remedies to the viruses and to the bacteria. Well, here you'll see a slide that really defines that the homeoenergetics is a combination of a lot of frequencies from some of the world's best homeopathics, and it helps to assist with specific issues. It also has frequencies for some of the best herbs in the world from the Amazon that help to stimulate the liver and the kidneys and the spleen and the lymphatics, so that as the body is dealing with these different issues, those filters have the ability to get rid of some of the toxins that are an after effect. However, this third one is really important. Those remedies do not kill anything, ever. You don't have to worry that if you give somebody virus DT or bacteria DT or mold and fungus DT, that those remedies are actually killing off anything, okay? Those remedies are directives that help the organs, glands, and systems, because they've been picked out by the brain. In the case of people that have done phase 2 and phase 3, the brain actually uses those frequencies to stimulate the organs, glands, and systems to work with the viruses, the bacteria, the molds, the fungus, whatever the situation is in the body. The brain's going to use that profile in order to help with any residual inflammation, to help with anything if it's developing, to help if there's any residual damage, to help if there's an overgrowth. The brain is able to assess the situation, but then use those remedies in order to support and elevate the frequencies in the body so that it has a better ability to start dealing with those things on its own and working with them in a way that makes the whole body start to resonate at a higher frequency and work with those particular issues. So there are no antibacterial properties to those remedies when somebody is taking them. In homeoenergetics, there is no antibiotic or antiviral remedy that you're going to see, because an antibiotic or an antiviral remedy would be something that would be outside of the scope of energetics or homeopathics. It would actually be aimed at killing off something, which is not what these do. Every remedy has the potential of strengthening the person's immune system. It helps the body systems to ramp up and fight any bacterial or viral infection using the body's own defense system. So let's dive a little bit more into what is going on in the body when somebody is using antibiotics or the homeoenergetics. So antibiotics, it's really interesting that the word antibiotics means to anti-life, which means to kill off, okay? It right there is telling you that its purpose is to kill off, and it kills off indiscriminately the good, the bad, and the ugly. That's been some of the problem with Western medicine, because of the fact that it gets to the point that they're starting to have resistance when they use antibiotics. Whereas when you look at what the homeoenergetics does and what homeopathy does, it elevates the frequencies of the body. And in the case of the homeoenergetics, it promotes the kidneys, the liver, and the spleen's ability to assist in removing toxins as the body, with its increased ability, higher frequency, starts to kick into high gear. So you're really helping the body as a whole with the homeoenergetics to get to where it is able to work with the viruses and the bacteria. You are not indiscriminately killing off anything as far as viruses or bacteria. You don't have to worry that there is something going on where any good bacteria is going to be affected. You're basically putting the brain in the control seat to be able to ask for and receive assistance that elevates the frequencies and then makes it where the body can just work a lot better on its own with the problem. It's been shown over and over again with homeopathics and also in working with homeoenergetics over the years that it's a very kind, gentle, good way in order to help the body to work with those issues on its own. So, what are some of the things that you can do to help the body? Well, you have some tools in your mobile scanner. You have your toxicity lists that can start to show up. A lot of toxicities will start to be shown in the body as far as body systems giving suggestions on what can help. And with phase 2, phase 3 actually having data appear that shows toxicities. Now you see a list here of some of the toxicity list. Gut fermentation. Why would that be important? Well, if the food is rotting and fermenting in the body, then you're going to have an environment that is going to allow bacteria, mold, funguses, viruses to thrive. And so the brain picking out a list is something that just makes it where you start to have the information to, when you're taking those remedies like bacteria DT and virus DT, you start to be able to not just have the energy, like we've talked about before. Einstein always said energy, particles, energy, particles. You can take the remedies over and over again to help elevate the frequency, but you've got to support with the particle part of it as well. So if you see gut fermentation, you take steps to see in the body, where does the digestion need help in order to cut back on an environment that is going to foster the overgrowth of bacteria or the ability for viruses to thrive, or knowing that maybe the brain is just saying it was a past occurrence and there's some residual toxins that need to be cleared out. Dehydration. Cannot overemphasize how important water is. It is so important that it's now being evaluated as being a nutrient. If you're in a dehydrated state and you're trying to work with a virus DT or a bacteria TT to help the body with a situation like that, you have got to have a transport system to take away toxins. But you also need the water to be in enough hydration state in the body that the hormones can be made correctly, the lymphatics can work correctly, the blood volume is correct, the brain is able to think clearly and work with the frequencies because it has adequate hydration as well. Stress, I barely need to say anything about that. Stress depletes the body, period. It depletes it of minerals. It makes the body have a harder time balancing the water-salt balance, the aldosterone levels. There's all kinds of things in the body that suffer from stress. And so you want to be able to do things to lower the stress level and be able to support the body's ability to work with detoxing viruses, bacteria, or managing past inflammation or injury or inflammation because of having had it in the past. Nicotine, tobacco, nightshades, food additives, all of these things hamper the body's ability. So if you start to see these in lists, it's taking positive action to work with those as well. And really valuable clues to lifestyle changes that are needed are by backtracking and looking at the areas that had 1s and 9s in the body under the systems. Is the gallbladder suffering? Is the liver tired? Is the stomach not working quite properly with making hydrochloric acid? Are the lymphatics thick and not able to transport nutrients and take away waste? You're going to get all kinds of clues from your scanner that help your body when you're using a remedy like bacteria DT and virus DT. The brain's asking for that or using that But here again, you've got to add in the support yourself. So let's just talk for a minute about some of the other actions that you can take physically to help the body when you're in the process of using those type of remedies. We just talked about increasing hydration, eliminating caffeine, reducing alcohol, sugar, dairy, refined foods, eating a little lighter, possibly adding fresh juicing, drinking warm beverages like herbal teas, strengthening your immune system with some of the tools that you have from Solex, as far as your Solex Gold, your Think, your Prime, your all of the Cephi components, using the dots and programming them as well in order to support the body's use of virus DT and bacteria DT, knowing that what you're doing is helping to elevate those frequencies again, not that you're killing off any bacteria or any viruses. Leave that up to your body systems and everything in the body that the brain can use to the best of its ability when it has the help that you're giving it. Having a positive mental attitude, using your inner voice. Can't stress that enough. Lauren always says, start with your inner voice, go from there. You're going to have a lot of suggestions from your mobile scanner when you use your inner voice. Getting enough rest, getting a massage, seeing your chiropractor, all of these things can help with those frequencies of the body by you giving the body the physical components it needs to work with the elevated frequency from taking the remedies, whether it be virus DT, bacteria DT, any of the DTs. So inner voice, emotions, hydration, all these other practical steps can really help with that, at the same time knowing that you're not directly killing off anything when you use detox remedies. So basically, what it boils down to is you can use your scanner with complete confidence, okay? You can pay attention to the patterns. Can't overemphasize the fact that you're looking for patterns. It's not diagnostic. So you're looking for what is the brain asking for that it needs to assist it once you've done the job of giving it frequencies to elevate the body's glands and systems, how they work and how they're functioning. You can use the patterns that your brain is showing in order to make the lifestyle changes to assist. You can use your homeoenergetic remedies with confidence, knowing that the brain is going to direct those frequencies to the areas that need assistance. And if you've done phase 3, you know that homeoenergetics will actually show you the priority remedies that are needed, and that in the background it's picking out the exact frequencies that are needed for the body area that shows up, so that can give you even more confidence once you have that unlocked from phase 3. You can support any detox reaction that happens. A lot of people will say, well, if the remedy isn't killing off the bacteria or the viruses, why am I having a Herx detox reaction? It's not that the remedy is causing that. It's that the brain is energetically using the remedies and the support that you're doing, and you're starting to have some die-off because of the brain's action on the viruses, the molds, the funguses, the bacteria. It's not that the remedy itself is causing a die-off. So support the emotions, support the actions that the body needs in order to help with the detox function. Use all the tools in your Cephi. You can do your playlists, you can do your supplements, there's so much that you can do with your Cephi. It is so powerful in order to support the body's ability to use the virus DT, the bacteria DT, and just have the confidence of knowing that you are in no way, when you use your scanner, killing off anything, and you're not diagnosing that you have anything. You're just using the patterns and the information from the brain to let the brain, with its infinite ability and knowledge, to use the elevated frequencies to move your body into homeostasis, move you closer to that gold standard for health that the body scans with to begin with, and knowing that the frequencies that it picks out from the database while the database is expansive and wonderful, the brain often just picks out things that are close to what you have, but it uses the frequencies from that still to elevate, to have the frequencies be elevated, and to improve the health and bring everything back into homeostasis. So use your scanner with confidence. I hope this has helped you a little bit understand more what goes on when you use virus DT, bacteria DT, or any of the DT remedies. And just enjoy your scanner. And in the future, we'll talk probably more about some of the viruses as well. Probably in particular, Epstein-Barr. That's one that has shown a lot of people have had interest in as well, is how does using your mobile scanner help with the Epstein-Barr virus. So happy scanning, and look forward to talking to you again soon.
Well, I just love having Deb Bruce on these calls.
Everybody loves having Deb Bruce on these calls. She is so good.
She is. Isn't she just so easy to understand? I love her delivery every time.
Yep, simple explanations.
Yep. Okay, so since we love Deb Bruce on these calls, let's have everybody comment on this call. What is a question you have for Deb?
That she hasn't answered.
Yes, that she hasn't answered.
Yeah.
Let's get some good questions going for Deb. Now, let's test her on these. Let's see if we can really challenge her.
Raise the heat a little bit.
Yeah, raise the heat a little bit. You know, and with that, we're getting close to Day of Discovery.
Yep.
Let's draw 3 names of people who've submitted questions for Deb, and let's give them a ticket to Day of Discovery for March 9th.
Yep, I like that one.
That gets a coupon code, too.
And if they've already bought it, they get a refund.
Yeah, we'll give them a refund.
Yeah, so
we'll
great.
do it for 3 people. All right, comment on the call. Questions for Deb. Day of Discovery ticket on the line. See you next week.
See ya.
Hey, okay. Well, I wasn't sure if I was gonna say, hey friends, hey everybody, hey Solex. I don't think I'm addressing Solex.
Hello, everyone.
Hey Solex. Okay,
Yo, Solex.
I guess there's a blooper. Shoot. Dang it, there goes our perfect reputation.
See ya.